My name is Sophia, and today I'm going to read Pumpkin Soup by Helen Cooper. Pumpkin Soup. Deep in the woods, there's an old white cabin with pumpkins in the garden. There's a good smell of soup, and at night, with luck, you might see a bagpiping cat through the window, and a squirrel with a banjo, and a small singing duck. Pumpkin soup, the best you ever tasted. Made by the cat who slices up the pumpkin, made by the squirrel who stirs in the water, made by the duck who scoops up a pipkin of salt and tips it in just enough. They slurp their soup and play their song, then pop off to bed in a quilt stitched together by the cat, embroidered by the squirrel, and filled with fine feathers from the duck. And it's peaceful in the old white cabin. Everyone has his own job to do. Everyone is happy, or so it seems. But one morning, the duck woke up early. He tiptoed into the kitchen and smiled at the squirrel's special spoon. "Wouldn't it be fine," he murmured, "if I could be the head cook?" He drew up a stool, hopped on top, and reached until his beak just touched the tip of the spoon. Kerplump! Down it clattered. Then the duck trotted back to the bedroom, held up the spoon, and said, "Today's my turn to stir the soup." "That's mine," squeaked the squirrel. "Stirring is my job. Give that back." "You're much too small," snapped the cat. "We'll cook the way we always have." But the duck held on tight until the squirrel tugged with all his might, and whoops! The spoon spun through the air and bopped the cat on the head. Then there was trouble. A horrible squashable, a row, a racket, a rumpus in the old white cabin. "I'm not staying here," wailed the duck. "You never let me help with anything." And he packed up a wheelbarrow, put on his hat, and wailed away. "You'll be back," stormed the cat, "after we've cleaned up." And the squirrel shook his spoon in the air, but the duck didn't come back. Not for breakfast, not even for lunch. "I'll find him," scoffed the cat. "He'll be hiding outside. I bet he's in the pumpkin patch." But the duck was not in the pumpkin patch. They could not find him anywhere. So they waited all that long afternoon. The cat watched the door. The squirrel paced the floor. "That duck will be sorry when he comes home," they muttered. But the duck didn't come home, not even at soup time. The soup wasn't tasty. They'd made it too salty. They didn't feel hungry anyway. They both sobbed over supper, and their tears dripped into the soup and made it even saltier. "We should have let him stir the soup," sniffled the squirrel. "He was only trying to help," wept the cat. "Let's go out and look for him." The cat and the squirrel were scared as they wandered down the path in the dark woods. They feared for the duck all alone with the trees, and the foxes, and the wolves, and the witches, and the bears, but they couldn't find him. On and on they trudged until they reached the edge of a steep cliff. "Maybe he fell down that," wailed the cat. "I'll save him," squeaked the squirrel, and he scrambled down on a long shaky rope. He searched all around on the ground, but he couldn't find the duck. Then the cat whispered in a sad little voice, "Duck might have found some better friends." "He might," sighed the squirrel, "friends who let him help." And the more they thought about it as they paddled back, the more they were sure they were right. But when they were almost home, they saw light shining from the old white cabin. "It's Duck!" they shriekled as they burst through the door, and the duck was so happy to see them. He was also really hungry, and though it was late, they thought they would all make some pumpkin soup. When the duck stirred, the cat and the squirrel didn't say a word. Not even when the duck stirred the soup so fast that it slopped right out of the pot. Not even when the pot got burnt. Then the duck showed the squirrel how to measure out the salt, and the soup was still the best you ever tasted. So once again it was peaceful in the old white cabin, until the duck said, "I think I'll play the bagpipes now." The end. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. My name is Sophia, and today I'm going to read Big Pumpkin. Once there was a witch who wanted to make pumpkin pie. So she planted a pumpkin seed. She weeded and watered, and after a while a sprout poked through. And then a pumpkin grew, and it grew, and it grew, and then it grew some more. Soon Halloween was just hours away. The witch thought about pumpkin pie and bent down to take her pumpkin off the vine. Well, she pulled, and she tugged, and she pulled. First she pulled hard, and then she pulled harder, but that pumpkin just sat. "Drat," said the witch. Just then along came a ghost. "Big Pumpkin," said the ghost. "It's big and it's mine, but it's stuck on the vine, and Halloween's just hours away," said the witch, and she kicked to that pumpkin. "I am bigger than you and stronger too," boasted the ghost. "Let me try." "Humph," said the witch, but she thought about pumpkin pie and stepped aside. The ghost bent down to take the pumpkin off the vine. Well, he pulled, and he tugged, and he pulled. First he pulled hard, and then he pulled harder, but that pumpkin just sat. "Drat," said the ghost. Just then along came a vampire. "Big Pumpkin," said the vampire. "It's big and it's mine, but it's stuck on the vines, and Halloween's just hours away," said the witch, and she kicked that pumpkin. "I am bigger than both of you and stronger too," boasted the vampire. "Let me try." "Humph," said the witch. "Humph," said the ghost. But they thought about pumpkin pie and stepped aside. The vampire bent down to take the pumpkin off the vine. Well, he pulled, and he tugged, and he pulled. First he pulled hard, and then he pulled harder, but the pumpkin just sat. "Drat," said the vampire. Just then along came a mummy. "Big Pumpkin," said the mummy. "It's big and it's mine, but it's stuck on the vine, and Halloween's just hours away," said the witch, and she kicked that pumpkin. "I am bigger than all of you and stronger too," boasted the mummy. "Let me try." "Humph," said the witch. "Humph," said the ghost. "Humph," said the vampire. But they thought about pumpkin pie and stepped aside. The mummy bent down to take the pumpkin off the vine. Well, she pulled, and she tugged, and she pulled. First she pulled hard, and then she pulled harder, but that pumpkin just sat. "Drat," said the mummy. Just then along came a bat. "Big Pumpkin," said the bat. The witch didn't say a word. She just looked at the ghost and rolled her eyes. The ghost looked at the vampire. The vampire looked at the mummy. They all looked at the little bat and stared and they started to laugh. "I may not be big, I may not be strong," said the bat, "but I have an idea." And the bat told them what to do. "Humph," said the witch. "Humph," said the ghost. "Humph," said the vampire. "Humph," said the mummy. But they thought about pumpkin pie and bent down to take the pumpkin off the vine. "Ready, set, pull," called the bat. The bat pulled the mummy pulled the vampire, The vampire pulled the ghost pulled the witch, and the witch pulled the pumpkin. Well, they pulled and they tugged and they pulled. First, they pulled hard, and then they pulled harder. And snap! Off came the pumpkin. Drat, said the witch. Whoosh, it flew, and thud, it landed on top of a hill, and thump, bump, thump, bump, thump, bump. It bounced it all the way down to the witch's house, and when it got to her door, the pumpkin just sat. Hurry for the bat, shouted the witch, and she hurried inside to make pumpkin pie. Said the ghost. Have some more, said the witch. Couldn't eat another bite, said the vampire. Fun party, said the mummy. Time to go, said the bat. Drat, said the witch as she watched them all leave. Then she went right out and planted another pumpkin seed. The end. Make sure to like and subscribe. My name is Sophia, and today I'm going to read Creepy Carrots. Words by Reynolds, pictures by Peter Brown. Jasper Rabbit had a passion for carrots, and the carrots that grew in Kraken Hopper Field were the best. Fat, crisp, and free for the taking. He pulled some for a morning snack on the way to school. He yanked out a few on his way to Little League practice. He ripped them from the ground on his way home at night. Jasper couldn't get enough carrots until they started following him. He first noticed something strange after the big game against the East Valley Hares. Jasper was about to help himself to a victory snack when he heard it, the soft, sinister tunk, tunk, tunk of carrots creeping. He turned, but there was nothing there. Just my imagination, he thought, but he hopped a little faster. That night, as he was brushing his teeth, there they were. Jasper whipped around, but nothing. He laughed at himself. Ha ha ha! Picked up his toothbrush off the floor and went to bed. Quickly. The next morning, he approached Kraken Hopper Field slowly. He reached for 2 wild carrots. Nothing happened. He bit into one. Nothing happened. Whew! Creepy carrots. It was ridiculous. But when he arrived home that evening, Mom! Mom! Jasper screamed. Creepy carrots in the shed! His mom opened the door slowly. There weren't any carrots, not even the regular kind. There are no such things as creepy carrots, Mom said, shaking her head. Later that night, as Jasper lay in bed, he heard it. Breathing. Terrible carroty breathing. And there on his wall. Creepy carrots, he shouted. Dad! Dad! His dad dumped into his bedroom and threw on the light. They searched under the bed. No creepy carrots. They looked through the closet. No creepy carrots. They opened the dresser drawers. No creepy carrots. Just a bad dream, son, his dad said, shaking his head. Now go to sleep. That wasn't going to happen. By the end of the week, Jasper was seeing creepy carrots creeping everywhere. Jasper knew his parents were wrong. Creepy carrots were real, and they were coming for him. But they couldn't get him if they couldn't get out. Jasper hatched a plan. First thing on Saturday, he grabbed supplies and headed to Kraken Hopper Field. As the sun finally set across Kraken Hopper Field, Jasper Rabbit smiled. On his way home, there was no tunk, Tunk, tunk. There were no carrot-shaped shadows. His plan had worked. No creepy carrots would ever get out of that carrot patch again. And as the sun finally set, the carrots of Krakenhopper Field cheered. Their creepy plan had worked. They were sure of it. Jasper Rabbit would never get into that carrot patch ever again. The end. Thank you for watching. My name is Sophia. Today I'm going to read The Little Old Lady Who Was Not Afraid of Anything. Once upon a time, there was a little old lady who was not afraid of anything. One windy afternoon, the little old lady left her cottage and went for a walk in the forest to collect herbs and spices, nuts and seeds. She walked so long and so far that it started to get dark. There was only a sliver of moon shining through the night. The little old lady started to walk home. Suddenly, she stopped. Right in the middle of the path were two big shoes, and the shoes went clomp, clomp. Get out of my way, you two big shoes. I'm not afraid of you, said the little old lady. On she walked down the path, but behind her she could hear two shoes go clomp, clomp. A little farther on, the little old lady stumbled into a pair of pants, and the pants went wiggle, wiggle. Get out of my way, you pair of pants. I'm not afraid of you, said the little old lady, and she walked on, but behind her she could hear two shoes go clomp, clomp, and one pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle. Farther still, the little old lady bumped into a shirt, and the shirt went shake, shake. Get out of my way, you silly shirt. I'm not afraid of you, said the little old lady, and on she walked a little bit faster, but behind her she could hear two shoes go clomp, clomp, one pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle, and one shirt goes shake, shake. A little ways on, the little old lady came upon two white gloves and a tall black hat. And the gloves went clap, clap, and the hat went nod, nod. Get out of my way, you two white gloves, and you tall black hat. I'm not afraid of you, she said, and on she walked just a little bit faster. Two shoes go clomp, clomp, one pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle, one shirt goes shake, shake, two gloves go clap, clap, and one hat go nod, nod. By now, the little old lady was walking at quite a fast pace. She was very near her cottage when she was startled by a really huge, very orange, very scary pumpkin head, and the head went, boo, boo. This time, the little old lady did not stop to talk. She did not stop at all. She ran, but behind her she could hear two shoes go clomp, clomp, one pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle, one shirt go shake, shake, two gloves go clap, clap, and one hat go nod, nod, and one scary pumpkin head go boo, boo. The little old lady did not look back. She ran as fast as she could and didn't stop to catch her breath until she was safe inside her cottage with the door locked. She sat in her chair by the fire and she rocked and she rocked. It was so quiet in her cottage before the knock, knock on the door. Should she answer it? Well, she was not afraid of anything. So she went to the door and opened it. What do you think she saw? Two shoes go clomp, clomp, one pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle, one shirt goes shake, shake, two gloves go clap, clap, and one hat go nod, nod, and one scary pumpkin head go boo, boo. I'm not afraid of you, said the little old lady bravely. What do you want anyway? We've come to scare you. You can't scare me, said the little old lady. Then what's to become of us? The pumpkin head suddenly looked unhappy. I have an idea, said the little old lady. She whispered into the pumpkin's ear. The pumpkin head nodded, and its face seemed to brighten. The little old lady said good night, closed the door, and whistled on her way to bed. The next morning, she woke up early. She went to her window and looked out into the garden. And what do you think she saw? 2 shoes go clomp, clomp. 1 pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle. 1 shirt go shake, shake. 2 gloves go clap, clap. And 1 hat go nod, nod. And 1 scary pumpkin head go boo, boo. And scare all the crows away. The end. Make sure to like and subscribe.